Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, it's little old me. What's going on, everybody? Very happy to have you joining us for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas, also on the Odyssey app. Get that app now. And doves will fly over your head and make you sing with glee. It's AUDACY. Some great shows, including mine and so many others here on KDAWN and around the Odyssey universe. We're also streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So if you want to get in there and say hi to us and have any questions or anything, or want to boo wheel your Yuta coming up here, feel free to do so. I got to be honest with you, when you hear the interview, it's going to be hard to do. But what a great guy, and looking forward to giving you that interview in just a little bit. Of course, we had a ton of title changes we talked about in the first hour with Coach Rosey. We've got a new Intercontinental Champion as Jey Uso is defeated by Braun Breaker. Chris Jericho knocks off Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Championship. The Motor City Machine Guns beat the Bloodline for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And at Bound for Glory last night, a couple new champions crowned as Masha Slamovich takes out Jordan Grace, wins the Knockout Championship. And then we also have new TNA World Tag Team Champions, as the Hardys knock off the System and ABC to become the new TNA World Champs. So a pretty wild week for everybody in professional wrestling, that it just didn't look like it was going to be too crazy, but what can we say? That's the way this thing goes sometimes. And of course, Halloween Havoc coming up tonight from the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Just saw a tweet from Eric Beeston, who's also from Bleacher Report, along with our friend Doc Chris Mueller. We got to get Eric on the show sometime, but he's going to see Halloween Havoc at the Giant Center tonight. Eric, have a great time, and everybody that's going to be going out there. Hershey's a very special place to me, and especially in my love of pro wrestling. So enjoy yourselves. Get one of those massive, 90-pound chocolate bars. Just don't hit anybody in the head with it, but enjoy yourselves at Halloween Havoc. Of course, next week, we've also got WWE Crown Jewel coming up. That is shaping up to be a terrific card. It looks like from the SmackDown that was taped, we're going to maybe get that match between Roman Reigns and the Usos against the Bloodline. Should be fun. That would obviously be setting up the Survivor Series War Games match, which would be pretty sensational. So Crown Jewel is going to be something to watch this time around, I think. Sometimes it's kind of it's okay. This one, top to bottom, with matches like Kevin Owens and Randy Orton on there, Gunther and Cody and Nia and Liv Morgan. I mean, this is top to bottom is loaded. So brace yourselves for a terrific Crown Jewel. Now, of course, going on in Las Vegas, by the way, one thing we've been keeping an eye on this show and our internet show, the Mark Hoke Show Late Night, that airs on Thursday on our socials. The main one is the YouTube channel, the Mark Hoke Show, which I would appreciate if you'd subscribe to. That would bring me joy and happiness. We were breaking down what was going on with the tickets here for WrestleMania at Allegiant Stadium. At the worst, the lowest ticket price was around just over $1,000, I believe, with $1,040. They have stabilized a little bit because they use this dynamic pricing, kind of like when you're doing an Uber and you get a surge. Well, that's what happens with Ticketmaster. If it turns out there's more demand and it's getting a little crazy, they'll actually raise the price on you. So right now, the WrestleMania 2-day combo tickets, the base is $840 at this moment. The top price ticket is $15,000, not $100, $15,000. If you want to sit down by ringside. And you have to buy 2 right now. They're still doing the combos. They haven't done single sales yet. So if you hop in there and buy one of those $15,000 tickets plus fees, you're probably looking around $35,000. And of course, they've got all those ticket packages available through WWE too, like that Undertaker ticket package that you can be in the suite during WrestleMania with them, and those are running about $10,000 a piece. A lot of wild pricing, but there still looks like there's a pretty good amount of tickets left. So if you want to buy them, I would probably suggest, from what I've seen, do it now. Don't let some guy from Poughkeepsie fill up our stadium. Go to WrestleMania. And you're going to, and I can tell you, having gone to WrestleMania before, especially I was in the one in LA, what an incredible experience that was. And you just have no idea how massive this thing is until you actually do it. I mean, I promise you, you're going to spend money, but it's going to be worth it. So, $840 a ticket, for both days, that's not bad. So check it out, and you can get those tickets available on Ticketmaster. All right, and we are going to get into our interview with Wheeler Yuta here. So, let's see, just look at the time. Yep, let's get this thing going. So we're going to hear from the guy who, well, he put a plastic bag over Bryan Danielson's head and helped end his career. Of course, Mox won the world championship from Danielson, ending his full-time career at Wrestle Dream. And Wheeler has taken it a step further. And, of course, this week, Chuck Taylor, who unfortunately, because of that degenerative ankle injury that he has, is now just working behind the scenes. He can't wrestle or his ankle might explode. They took him out, too, with the chair around the neck. And Wheeler was horrified. But Wheeler stuck by it. He did an interview on Collision where he, of course, with Nigel McGuinness, who had been, shall we say, degrading Bryan Danielson for a very long time due to their relationship back to Ring of Honor days. And Wheeler told him, "What's the matter, Joker? Did we kill Batman before you did?" Pretty good line. I give Wheeler points on that. But we talked to Wheeler about a massive variety of topics, and want to give you a chance to hear what we heard from Wheeler Yuta. So let's get to it, shall we? And we are on the Mark Hoke Show with a very special guest. He is the man who has been at the epicenter of what's happening in AEW right now. The 3-time Ring of Honor Pure Champion, current co-holder of the AEW World Trios Championship, member of the Blackpool Combat Club, and the best thing is he's a Philly guy. So being from South Central Pennsylvania, I'm down with that. Welcome in Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler, how are you today, my friend?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. Getting up early to take care of you today. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, different time zones, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're very excited to have you on the show. First, for people that may be more casual wrestling fans that need to learn a little bit about you, could you give me a little bit about your background and how you got into pro wrestling?
Yeah, so my cousins introduced me to pro wrestling when I was a little kid, and I told myself from then on that's what I wanted to do. So I started training in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina when I was 16 years old. Then I moved to Philly when I was 18, and then I've been training there ever since. And started with AEW, I believe, in 2021. And since then, I've been part of the Best Friends with my old trainers here in Philadelphia, and then switched to the Blackpool Combat Club with some new mentors, and I'm still with them to this day.
So take us. We're going to get into that. Don't worry, we're going to get into that. But take us back through that day in June in 2021 you first joined AEW to today. What has that progression been like for you from start to finish in AEW? Because it's just been such an incredible improvement, and seeing what you've been doing in the ring, it's amazing to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. When I got to AEW in 2021, I I thought I was pretty good, but then you wind up with all these guys that are just on another level, and you really have to either have to elevate yourself or you're going to get lost. And I was lucky to have some good mentors along the way that both taught me how to be a professional, but also gave me plenty of pointers in the ring and just how to act, how to carry myself. And I think that people have seen me go from this happy-go-lucky kind of guy that was just excited to be there to, like you said, a member of the Blackpool Combat Club who takes his craft much more seriously, who is always focused on just getting the job done by any means necessary, and that's what I'm in there to do.
Was there a moment for you when you were in AEW early on that you said, wow, like you said, it was a real change for you? Was there a moment or a time or a conversation that you had that said, man, you know what, I really got to step it up? Did somebody sit down with you, or did you approach somebody, or what was that moment that you said, man, I got to take it up, man?
I always sort of knew it myself. When you walk around the hallway and you see just this cast of characters, like the roster in AEW is just incredible. Like, when I go and I walk around and I see, oh, there's Dean Malenko, oh, there's Dustin Rhodes, oh, there's Ricochet, there's Will Ospreay. It's like, if you don't step your game up, you're just going to get left behind. So I always knew that, but then I would get like subtle hints here and there, like. I started to let my physique go a little bit, and then Claudio's like, "Hey, man, you have to stand next to me every week on television. You might want to work on that a little bit." And he was very kind and he said it. But there's definitely been some moments where some guys have been like, "Hey, man, there's this. Let me give you this piece of advice, and then it's up to you to take it or not." So you always have those people that are looking out for you, and once you know that guys have your best interest in mind, then you can really gravitate to them. So that's something I've been very fortunate to have with the guys in the BCCs. They're always very honest with me, and if they see flaws in my game, they will tell me. If they think I did something good, they'll tell me as well. But if they see flaws in my game, they'll definitely be sure to hold me accountable.
Well, I remember when they pulled you in, and I was saying to myself, wow, what an opportunity this is for him to get to work with these guys. When the opportunity came up to work with Mox and Danielson and Claudio and that group, what was going through your mind when that chance was presented to you?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like these are guys that I've looked up to for such a long time. I actually I recently did an independent show near here in Pennsylvania in Bethlehem. And when I was at the show, there was a fan who showed me a picture that he had taken with William Regal. And he's like, believe it or not, you were at this independent show. You were working his meet and greet. So you took this picture. And then 10 years later, right? And then years later, he's, shaking my hand to bring me into the Blackpool Combat Club. So, when I got that opportunity, it was, of course, nerve-wracking. It's, very exciting, but these are guys that I've looked up to and tried to emulate my whole career already. So being able to actually be taken by them and to be under their wing was something that was an opportunity that was really special for me.
And it made you change what you were doing in the ring too, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a completely different style. Like the best friends do what they do very well, but that's not what we're trying to present with the Blackpool Combat Club. So I had to, as we say, step up or get stepped on. I had to figure out how to change, how to adapt, because if not, I wasn't going to last very long with them.
Yeah, and it's been a very interesting run with the Blackpool Combat Club, especially recently. Mm-hmm. We had a little incident at Wrestle Dream, and the first thing that, and for the fans that may not be aware, of course, you kind of turned on Bryan Danielson and put a plastic bag over his head. A pretty interesting moment in pro wrestling history. I was comparing it to some of the biggest betrayal moments of all time on the show last week. Let me ask you this. Why? Why did you attack Bryan Danielson?
I got in the ring, and I think the decision was pretty clear. Bryan's done a lot for me in my life and my career, but so have Claudio and John. So when you get in the ring in that situation and my choices were either I could cut my losses, I could stay with the two guys that have the world championship, the guys that are going to be there, another guy who I hold a trios championship with. I could stay with them, or I could just blindly stick by Bryan. But maybe they were right, because two of them are still wrestling and one of them's not. So it's a difficult decision. It's not one that I took lightly. It's not one that I took lightly, not one that I enjoyed, but it is what it is.
Well, you did a social media post about a week ago where you actually apologized to Bryan Danielson for doing what you did, and this group is very ruthless, but it seems like there's a little bit that's holding you back, and I'm just curious how the emotions are playing in all this right now.
Yeah, of course, there's a lot of internal conflict. As I talked about, like how much I looked up to these guys, how much I respected these guys. I didn't think it would really get to the level that we're at right now. But there's work that needs to be done. So if the work's a little bit dirty, I got to come to grips with that, I guess. But it is what it is. It's the job that needs to be done. When you get drafted to go to war, whether you agree or not, you got to go to war.
So what is the objective of the Blackpool Combat Club now? John Moxley says we're going to reshape the company and into what it should be. So what are your feelings on that? And as a group, what are your plans for this? What's the end game on all of this?
Well, I can't really, reveal the plans and the end game all that much, or else they probably wouldn't work out too well for us. But the main goal, I will say, is just, like you said, to make AEW a place that we can all be proud of. And there's a lot of good that goes on at AEW, but there's also, it gets a little messy. There's a lot of things that we need to clean up, a lot of things that we don't necessarily agree with as members of the Blackpool Combat Club. We talked about it when we feuded with the Elite a long time ago, when we were calling them amateurs and we were calling the roster amateurs. There's just things where we want to tighten up. We want to grow as a company, and maybe our methods of growth are a little nasty, a little dirty, but it's really, we just want the company to be the best that it can be. That's really it.
All right. And we're going to have more from Wheeler Yuta when we come back from break, as he's going to be discussing more of the future of the Blackpool Combat Club and his own, his professional desires and hopes. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, we were talking about those WrestleMania tickets and got a great opportunity for you to save some money, because it's not going to be cheap to get through WrestleMania week, but at least I can save you a little bit of money if you go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke show. So you can save a ton of money on your hotel rooms. It's powered by Priceline, and they give you those employee rates, those mystery rates. There's no guessing. There's no trying to hope that you get a decent hotel when you book something crazy like that. All you got to do is go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke show. That's really important. And sign up today. Just a fast comparison that I was doing this morning on Expedia for WrestleMania weekend 4 nights is $868 on Expedia, but on travel, and that is at the Plaza. But if you book it on thetravelshark.com/Hoke show, $576. That is a lot of money. That can buy you souvenirs. That can get you into some great events, all sorts of stuff. So please check it out at thetravelshark.com/Hoke show. And when we come back, more from Wheeler Yuta from All Elite Wrestling. He's been a bad boy, but we'll hear him out. So stick around, everybody. More on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process, from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115. Or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's get back to it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 1015 FM, the Odyssey app, AUDACY, and of course streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Just look us up, subscribe, like, follow, do a little dance, whatever's going to work for you. But we would certainly appreciate you joining the Mark Hoke Show family. Don't forget to check out markhokeshow.com for everything going on with the show, including our great sponsors and much more. So head on over to the website, please. Please, please. All right, and we are going to keep things rolling with our interview with Wheeler Yuta from AEW. So let's hear more from Wheeler. Seems like they're, the first major attack you had, you're going after the Dark Order and everybody else. Are you guys trying to pull everybody up and, get some people going that maybe have been stagnant? I mean, is that part of all this?
Yeah, we're absolutely trying to do that. We want the roster to be better. We want there to be competition. We want it to be where we don't have to be the ones running the show, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So it's our goal to bring everyone up with us. So that's really the goal of everything, is just to improve AEW and get it to that point where we don't have to be smashing people's hands with hammers anymore, where we can just go to work and, have everyone rise and be the best versions of themselves, because that's really what we need.
Well, you're certainly going to run into some stiff competition. I'm sure guys like Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy are going to have some objections to what all of you are doing. But a group that I'm really curious about you guys taking care of, and you mentioned them, the Elite, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Okada. They kind of sat back the last time, but I mean, the Bucks are the EVPs of this company. Eventually, they're not going to take it anymore, I think, unless they're just scared of you guys. But the potential clash between you guys and the Elite, I think, is inevitable. How do you guys feel about where the Elite are right now?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they're scared. I think that they're great competitors. We've had incredible battles with them in the past. They choked me out in blood and guts. We've had a lot of battles with them, a lot of fights with those guys. I think maybe they hear what we're saying a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe they are scared. Maybe that is it. But I think maybe they hear what we're saying, and maybe they don't disagree as much as everyone seems to think. Because really, like we've been saying, we are just trying to make the company better. That is the goal. So they want to make the company better too. It's their company. So, well, it's our company now, but it was their company.
I love how you're being so casual and nice about all this, but there's nothing nice and casual about what you guys are doing.
Hey, I'm the nice guy in the BCC, all right?
Now, one question that a lot of people are asking is there anybody pulling the strings behind all this? And, there's a certain name that keeps popping up. I'm sure we don't have to mention his name, Shane McMahon. But is this an independent thing that you guys are doing, or is there a little help behind the scenes?
No, don't want to share too much, like I said, but this is really just about us by ourselves making the company better.
Okay.
That's really what it is.
Fair enough. So what do you want to get out of all this? I mean, obviously you have a group there and you're trying to improve AEW, but where do you want to go now? Because it's been a great run for you. I mean, you had that terrific moment of blood and guts too, but what do you want to do?
I just want to continue to grow, to continue to fulfill my role, and continue to play my part in this big mission of what we want. We just want the company to continue to improve. We want everyone to find that fire, find that passion. Daniel Garcia, I think he likes to talk about restoring the feeling. I think that's one thing that he says. I know a lot of people say that, but we just want to, we might go about it a little bit differently than he does. He's trying to fight us every week, just showing up a little late. But we we just want to keep growing. So I don't know what my role will be in that, but I'm a team player. So whatever John and Claudio need, that's what I'm there for right now.
So no aspirations to maybe go get the TNT title or anything like that. Just hanging out and let's work together. That's it.
I mean, I would love to be TNT champion if that is an opportunity that comes about, if that's what arises, if that's what's needed of me. But yeah, I'm a soldier right now. So I'm at war, and I'm going to do what the general says.
Some great things are happening with AEW right now. The TV deal just went through, and there's more to come on this as well. What are your thoughts about what has just occurred with this new television deal? And like I said, with more coming possibly with Fox and, work on True TV and everywhere else. What do you think about this, Wheeler? It's got to be a pretty exciting time for you guys.
Yeah, I think as a company, the TV deal is something that was a big priority. And the fact that, we've got it now and we know we can be secure in our future, that's very exciting. I think for me, something that's really exciting is the streaming on Max. I'm not someone that always has, traditional cable. Right now I have Fubo because I was watching the Phillies. But I'm not someone that always, has the traditional cable. I'm a cut the cord guy. So being able to reach even more people through the streaming platforms and just being able to have the library available, that's all stuff that's really exciting to me. So I think it'll just continue to grow our reach and grow our company. So I'm very proud of where we've come in these past few years, and I just am excited for it to keep moving forward.
If there was anything that you could improve about AEW, what would it be? Without getting in trouble with Tony, of course.
Yeah. No, I think it's what we said. It's bringing back that passion, bringing back that fire. And I think most guys have it, but it's something that we're sort of on a company-wide mission to do, is to build this culture of just going out there and giving it your all every night. And I think that we do that for the most part, but just continuing to build and strengthen that culture where we're all on the same team. I think something that we've been doing, but it's something that we can always improve on. So I think that continuing to push that forward is something that I hope that we can do.
Well, I know we're all very excited to see your future, Wheeler Yuta. I know you do a lot of stuff outside of the ring too, but I found this interesting. You play the steel drums.
Yes, I do.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it since the second grade. So our elementary school music teacher, Dr. Peterman, he actually has a PhD in music and percussion specifically. So he was actually the percussion teacher at West Virginia University. And then he decided he was going to teach us elementary schoolers instead and play some gigs by the beach. So
really? Huh.
So he came in and he did that. So I got to do steel drumming from a young age. I also got to do taiko drumming, which is like traditional Japanese drums. So being able to do that all through elementary and middle school was awesome. And then I just continued playing steel drums, and then it turned into a summer job for a few years. I used to play like weddings and parties and stuff. And then once the wrestling picked up, they usually, when you're an entertainer, all that stuff kind of happens at the same time. Like the time that I would have these steel drum gigs would be the same days that I had to go wrestle. So then I wound up obviously choosing wrestling instead. But yeah, I played the steel drum professionally for a while, and now I still do it just kind of in my free time.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. You'll have to bust those skills out sometime on the TV show. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be an interesting dynamic for the BCC, but I did
play them in, man.
Right. I think the last gig I played, I was just I got booked by a country club. I was playing a party. I finished up, and as I was packing up and leaving, I just remember some guy comes up to me and he goes, "Excuse me, is this the All Dentists Luau?" I was like, "I guess it is." And then I left, and then I got in my car. I drove to a wrestling show. I wrestled that night too, but I was like, yeah, I think I might be done playing steel gigs. So I think that was it. I'm retired. Unless someone out there wants me to play their wedding. So maybe I'll do that.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. Well, you guys have done an amazing job with what's going on with the BCC. And of course, your progression has been amazing. And I think that you've truly impressed a lot of people over the past couple of years from where you started in AEW to where you are now. And of course, back, the Combat Zone days and everything else. So it's very exciting to see what's going to happen with you and where it's going to go from here. I mean, you're still under 30 years old, man. You're 27. You got a long way to go.
Hey, I'm 28 next week, though. So very close. This week, actually. It's Saturday.
Oh, well, happy pre-birthday. Appreciate it. Well, I want to thank you for joining me, Wheeler. We really do appreciate the time here on the Mark Hoke Show. Like I said, can't wait to see where this is going to go. It's one of the most exciting times in AEW in a while, and you're right in the middle of it. So this is going to be something special, I think.
Yeah, you can feel the energy when we're out there. It's a little different, and I'm very excited for it. So I can't wait to see where it goes as well.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us on the Mark Hoke Show today, and I want to wish you all the best in the future here in the career. But just do me a favor and just keep the plastic bags aside, all right?
That one's still I still have it. So.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah, I kept it.
You know what? That is a heck of a souvenir, that's for sure.
Right.
All right, Wheeler. Well, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it, and I wish you all the best. Have a fantastic day and a very happy birthday this weekend.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. And there you go. Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. And you got to see the video of this, too, because Wheeler was very casual and smiling this whole time. And it was pretty amazing to do that interview with him. But he was very candid, not just about what's going on with the group he's working with, but AEW as a whole. And that was something that a lot of people picked up on later on after they got past the initial comments. Well, why did you do what you did? And I really feel like AEW with this TV deal, now the stage is set, and they've got to really push themselves, and I think they get it. I really do. There's obviously had some attendance issues lately and trying to push some numbers back up. So there's a fight going on there to really get everyone to step up their games company wide. And I do wish them all the best. We've got at least 3 or 4 more years of them for sure on TV. So it's going to be a great time to see how AEW goes and how all this turns out. All right, we are going to take a break, but before we do, just want to remind everybody that you can bet on professional wrestling. That's right. It's fun. You're not going to blow a lot of money or win a ton, but you're going to, maybe make it a little more exciting for you when you're watching the matches. Just go to betonline.ag. Would certainly appreciate it first, though, if you go to markhokeshow.com and then click on one of the BetOnline AG banners. But you can bet on anything on this site. Pro wrestling. I mean, they've got cricket, dart, rugby, handball, table tennis, and of course your regular, more normal sports like boxing, football, and so on. But you can get a membership, and it's a bonus, 50% matching bonus up to $1,000. So if you put in that code BOL1000 when you sign up, you're going to be able to get 50% up to $1,000. So that means if you put $1,000 on, you're going to get $500. What a deal. I can't help you any more than that. That's $500 I'm putting in your pocket. So go to markhokeshow.com and click on one of the BetOnline AG banners, either on the front page or on the sponsors page, and have a little extra fun betting on wrestling. Right now, with Halloween Havoc off the board because it is the day of, you can bet on who will induct John Cena into the WWE Hall of Fame. That could be a long-term bet, but it's there. So, and, of course, so many other events, you'll probably get some good odds on Crown Jewel and everything else, too. All right, let's take that break, and when we come back, got a few more stories to hit for you, including WWE not being very happy with NXT, and Vince McMahon, WWE aren't going to be too happy either because there was a lawsuit that hit. I don't think they're going to be too thrilled about. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas.
.101.5 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Let's do this one more time, shall we? Final segment of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Also on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, and streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Subscribe, follow, like, whatever you got to do. Just interact with the show. We would certainly appreciate it. And those of you in the chat box, I had some comments firing off. By a Scoop, we were talking about Samantha Irwin leaving WWE, and Scoop said you can't be upset with anyone that wants to advance themselves and weren't hateful. Yep, no doubt. It's kind of sad that she wasn't that happy, though, doing what she was doing, because she was damn good at it. But Samantha Irwin out at WWE. Now, we have a lawsuit that has been filed against World Wrestling Entertainment and the McMahons. Oh, good Lord. Here we go again. And this one is stemming back from a scandal that happened decades ago. But this is very interesting, as we have it's the Ring Boys thing. For those that are more older time fans from back in the 80s, there was a ring announcer by the name of Mel Phillips. And also Terry Garvin was there as well. And they were, especially Mr. Phillips, was having issues with doing things with underage ring boys. And there has been a lawsuit filed this week by against WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TK Holdings by DeSello, Levitt, and Murphy Law Group and Falcon and Murphy on behalf of 5 former ring boys. So the lawsuit was filed in Baltimore County, Maryland, and alleges the underage ring boys were groomed, exploited, and sexually abused by Phillips at pro wrestling venues, hotel rooms, and other locations. Lawsuit also claims the defendants were fully aware of the abuse and did nothing to prevent or stop it. And Greg Gutzler, a partner at DeSello Levitt, said, thanks to the bravery of our clients, we finally have a chance to hold accountable those who allowed and enabled the open, rampant sexual abuse of those young boys. That so many were aware of the sexual abuse of the ring boys and did nothing to prevent it or stop it is simply unconscionable. So with this lawsuit being filed, say all listed as John Doe's in the filing only recently learned of the depth of the knowledge of McMahon's and WWE had about what happened to them. So it is lawsuit time for this one. And of course, Grant's attorney hopped in. Vince is like, you got to be kidding me. So they are seeking a judgment against WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO. And I just wonder if his number is wrong on the article I'm reading, but they're looking for a jury trial and picking up some coin on that. So Phillips had been fired in 1988, but was rehired with a mandate to stay away from children. And then finally WWE said, see you later in 1992. So former ring boy worked WWE in 86 and 87, accused Mel Phillips of inappropriate conduct earlier this year. Nick Kiniski, who was a former WWE wrestler, also had alleged that Terry Garvin had propositioned him, and that ended up ending Nick Kiniski's career pretty much, as he just pretty much disappeared from the scene after that. Left WWE, and of course the son of the NWA champion Gene Kiniski. So this is going to be a very interesting lawsuit. And let's see what we got in the chat box. I believe Jesse Hyde had a comment with the Ring Boy lawsuit connecting Vince and Trump's friend Linda McMahon. Easy there. Donald Trump's got nothing to do with it. To WWE TKO, does that mean AEW may never pull the trigger on Shane O'Mac being part of the BBC? I don't know. Shane's not going to have anything to do with this. This happened back when I was in high school and college. So I don't think this is really going to reflect on Shane McMahon badly. This is probably another one of those things that WWE and Shane just not happy about and want to be disassociated from. So, but like I said, I don't think it's going to hurt Shane, and I personally don't see why you would bring Donald Trump into that. That he's got nothing to do with it, zero. What else was in here? I know Jesse had another comment with another lawsuit connecting Vince and, oh, yeah, we already had that. Okay, never mind. So we'll let that one go. But I do remember the Mel Phillips scandal. He was a ring announcer, and he was solid. It was the other guy besides Howard Finkel at that time in WWE. But I do also remember hearing about what was going on and just some pretty terrible stuff. So we'll see how that all turns out. Probably get that settled and get it done. That would be my advice, I would think. We also had a little fun with NXT last week where they were not happy with the CW because there's a 20-second delay at the end of the show. And they were doing Zarya, putting her out there and doing her reveal to the NXT gang. And with that delay, because they have a very hard out with CW because they're doing news on a lot of the channels, that they cut out while Zarya was coming out. So once again, this is the growing pains a little bit, obviously. Now you're working with a new network, and the new network has different things to do, but you don't get that overrun anymore. You can't tell the network, hey, we're going to go 2 or 3 minutes overtime, and USA was just like, fine, more people are watching this than Chrisley or whatever the heck they had. So a tough break there for WWE, but they have to learn their lesson on the timing a little bit. Hard outs are hard outs, and trust me, I know about that. You got to nail that. So you can't. I don't know if you can really blame the CW, but hopefully they'll get back on the same page and fix that problem. Also happening, by the way, with TKO, and of course they are the parent company of UFC and WWE. Well, they got a new company on board. Yes, they do. Get ready, kids, because TKO has acquired the Professional Bull Riders from Endeavor. So it was announced that TKO would acquire Professional Bull Riders on location and IMG from Endeavor in an all-stock transaction valued at $3.25 billion. The deal will increase Endeavor's ownership stake in TKO from 53% to 59%. So, of course, Endeavor was the first parent company that took over WWE, and now they're involved in this whole thing. So Ari Emanuel says today's announcement reflect the continued strength of our underlying business and our commitment to deploying capital through a balanced capital allocation strategy. Okay. They got bull riding. Great. Now, this opens up some interesting possibilities, doesn't it? WWE wrestlers doing bull riding. Would you like to see your favorite wrestler ride a bull? I don't think I would want anybody in WWE riding a bull. But, you know what? You rodeo guys, you're going to probably get to see maybe some UFC fighters and some WWE wrestlers checking it out at least. So a little bit of extra celebrity power in the audience for you there. But TKO now has Professional Bull Riders. Way to go, guys. Also, by the way, Dave Meltzer making the news. Oh, no. What happened here? Well, apparently, according to this article, WWE was accused of orchestrating a campaign to discredit Dave Meltzer. No way. So the whole thing was around Kevin Owens' contract that Meltzer had said that Kevin had signed, and now they're messing around with Meltzer on this one. Campaign revolved around Owens and his contract status. That is revealing earlier this year. Contract expired in early 2025. Recent weeks have since noted that, though that Owens had already re-signed or is close to re-signing, Meltzer reported himself in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He was told by multiple people dating back to Bash in Berlin that Owens is believed to have signed a new deal, but it was being kept very quiet. So apparently, for some reason, WWE got a little kick against Dave Meltzer. Yikes. Come on. Why are you doing that? Why you got to mess with Dave? Look, Uncle Dave does get himself in some trouble every once in a while. We all know this. But now what's the point of that? Come on. Don't have to do that kind of stuff. There's also another very interesting story. You know how the dirt sheets and so on get a hold of interesting stories and leak things and spoilers and so on. Well, apparently they managed to keep a secret between Tony Khan, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Darby Allin that Mox was the one all along that was slated to win the World Championship in AEW. So they managed to keep this hidden all the way from back at, let's see, and I do apologize, back when Moxley won the IWGP World Championship in April. So they managed to keep that quiet. Good job, fellas. Way to go. So that's, I think that's pretty much all the news that we got right now. So I just want to take a minute and ask everybody if you wouldn't mind. Hey, if you want to get our podcasts, markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're putting all the shows on there so you can have audio versions of the show. They're also up on YouTube. If you want to take a minute and subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube. That is also Facebook. X is at Mark Hoke Show. The website is markhokeshow.com. And don't forget Thursday nights. We're having some fun with this, and I know I got to chop Thursday's episode up, but we're doing the Mark Hoke Show late night, Thursday nights starting at 8:15 p.m. Pacific time. We do a little news, and then we have fun. I mean, we're playing games and all sorts of neat stuff, and I'll give you a little hint what we're doing this week. You'll have wrestlers from all eras make a super card. It's going to be a lot of fun putting up the wrestlers from today against yesterday and making the best card that we can. So check it out. And of course, check out the last episode. We played Breakout, a new game I made up. You'll get the idea pretty quick. But we love to see you on Thursday nights here exclusively on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm out of here. But thanks for joining us on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, Odyssey app. And once again, subscribe to us on all of our socials. Thank all of you for listening. Greatly appreciate the great ratings and so on. It means the world. So we'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show, everybody. Have a great Sunday in Las Vegas.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.